The first time I noticed it, I told myself I was tired. It was late, past midnight, and the only light in my apartment came from the street lamp outside my window. I stood in the kitchen, staring at my reflection in the dark glass of the microwave door, when something shifted on the floor behind me. My shadow moved, not much, just a small twitch, like a living thing stretching its limbs. I hadn't moved an inch. I turned around quickly. The shadow lay flat and obedient again, stretched long across the tiles, perfectly still. I laughed under my breath. Lack of sleep does strange things to the mind. I had been working overtime for weeks, coming home exhausted, falling asleep with the TV still on. Shadows couldn't move on their own. That was a rule of the world I trusted. I went to bed and forgot about it. But the next night, it happened again. This time, I was certain. I stood in the hallway, switching off the lights one by one. When I reached the bedroom door, I paused. Something felt wrong. Slowly, I looked down. My shadow bent its head before I did. A cold wave ran through my body. I lifted my hand. A second later, my shadow followed, delayed, like it was copying me instead of belonging to me. I snapped the light off, plunging the hallway into darkness. In the dark, I could still feel it. Standing there, watching me. Over the next few days, I became obsessed with light. I left lamps on all night, pulled curtains open during the day, avoiding dark corners and narrow hallways. Still, the shadow changed. It grew sharper, darker, thicker. Sometimes, when I sat completely still, I would see it breathe. I stopped telling myself it was imagination when it began doing things I never did. One evening, I sat on my bed scrolling through my phone. The lamp beside me cast my shadow against the wall. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw it raise its arm. I froze. My shadow's arm remained lifted, pointing toward the closet door. I slowly turned my head. The closet door was open. I never left it open. That night, I dreamed of darkness without light, an endless place where shadows stretched forever. In the dream, I stood without a body, only a shape pressed flat against the ground. Something else wore my skin, moving freely above me. When I woke up, my room felt colder. And my shadow was gone. I searched for it in panic, turning lights on and off, standing in front of mirrors, stepping into the sun. Nothing followed me. For the first time since childhood, I had no shadow. I should have felt relieved. Instead, I felt empty. Throughout the day, strange things happened. People stared at me longer than normal. A woman on the bus crossed herself when she noticed my feet. My reflection in shop windows felt delayed, smiling a second after I did, blinking when I wasn't ready. That evening, as the sun set, I felt something tug at my feet. I looked down. My shadow was crawling back toward me from the edge of the room. It didn't attach itself. It stood upright, separate from me, shaped exactly like my body. Its head tilted. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. The shadow stepped forward, and I stepped backward. We moved differently now. It began copying my life. When I didn't sleep, neither did it. When I skipped meals, it watched me eat with hollow eyes. Sometimes, I'd catch it practicing my expressions, smiling too wide, blinking too slowly, tilting its head in ways my neck never could. The worst part, it learned faster than me. One night, I came home to find my apartment rearranged. The furniture was placed slightly wrong, almost right, but not quite. The photos on the wall showed moments I didn't remember. In one picture, I stood alone in my living room, smiling directly at the camera. My shadow stood behind me. That was when I realized the truth. Shadows aren't reflections. They're leftovers. Everything we ignore, every dark thought, every fear we push down and pretend doesn't exist. Mine had grown hungry. The final night, the power went out. Complete darkness swallowed the apartment. I felt hands, cold and flat, wrap around my arms. "You've had your time," a voice whispered, sounding exactly like mine. "It's my turn now." The last thing I saw was light. Not from a bulb or the moon, but from myself. I was falling, flattening, spreading across the floor. When the lights came back on, my body stood in the center of the room, breathing calmly, adjusting its clothes. And I lay beneath it. A perfect shadow. Still, obedient, waiting. Because my shadow didn't move without me. It moved so it could become me.